Alright. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the match, which, of course, came straight out of the semi-finals of this last week's EPT Korea. In the top left side of the map, we have DPG Dark. And his opponent in the bottom right, it is Shopify Rebellion's Byun. So we have literally one of the biggest fan favorite players of all time, the 2016 world champion Byun, the man who went in there with no team, no sponsors, and won a GSL and then won the world championship at the end of that year and was absolutely shocked. Man who's had some big wrist injuries, thankfully is supported by Shopify Rebellion these days. It is, of course, just one of the most emotional players, kind of wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's going to be opening up with CC first. Okay, guys, he's going to do his CC first 3 racks build. I've seen like Cure, was it Cure? I think Cure did this recently. A few people have been doing this. A really cool build order. So he's doing this up against Dark, who, of course, is my favorite player to watch in the last year. Endless comebacks, really sloppy openings in terms of like he just has inefficient openings that he thinks are good, but then he F's people up no matter how far behind he is. He is never out of the game. You can never count him out no matter how bad it looks for him. And his ability to just make these scrappy comebacks, to use roaches better than anybody else in the world, incredible. As well as his ability to know how to dissect an opponent and make them uncomfortable. Clem was on an unheralded Terran vs. Zerg win streak maybe 6 months ago, and Dark was like, lol no, and just slapped him down. That might have been the last TSL tournament, maybe a little longer than 6 months ago now. My sense of time is absolutely botched, but yeah, it was Dark who just was like, well, you know what, yeah, you're really good, you micro like a beast, but if I just backstab you all game long, it doesn't matter. I'm just never gonna fight you front on, constantly attack you when you're moving out, hit your mineral lines, and didn't actually build a big economy. He hung at like 70 drones for that entire series, which is very low for Zerg vs. Terran, but he was actually fighting super efficiently by just avoiding head-on collisions. Now, I wonder if we see more of that. Here on this map, Dark does tend to open up with Lingbane. He doesn't go for the Roach style very much. Lingbane Muta, very common choice for him here. Could play Lingbane Lurker as well. He's a man of, he can basically do anything. But against this style from Byun, it's going to be really interesting. So Byun's gone Command Center first, and he's gone 2 barracks actually. It's not the 3 barracks build, at least not yet. I think he's going to go a 3rd Command Center. Oh, he's going to drop a 3rd CC real soon in this main. So check this out, guys. He's going to start building Marines. He's going to make Stim. He's going to drop a 3rd Command Center and then a Factory and then a Starport. So he's going to do a CC first into 3CC 211. What does that mean? If you guys aren't super experts. So 211 refers to kind of the order of the structures. 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. A 3 barracks or a 311, 3 barracks. Then you get the factory and the starport. So the more barracks you get earlier, the more you're focusing on stim kicking in and hitting a really sharp marine timing on your opponent and trying to knock him down that way. But he actually does go factory. Oh, okay. So he's not going to build the 3rd before the factory. That's interesting. So it's just going to be CC first 211. So it's like a normal 2-on-1, but obviously no reap. But Byun didn't scout at all, by the way. Played completely blind. I've talked a lot over the last 2 years about how if you want to play, if you guys are going to play Byun and you're in Diamond League and you're like, I could never beat Byun, it would be too hard. Just remember, do a 1-base Ravager all in and enjoy your free points. And going, I took a map off Byun. What the fuck? He so rarely scouts. He does these greedy openings every single game. It's not Marine King level of stupid greed, because I love you, Marine King. Great famous player. He played like an idiot sometimes. Like ridiculous gambles when they were just entirely unnecessary. But Byun will play a bit greedy in terms of not scouting early. Now, he's got a good little pack of Marines up here, but definitely 1-base 13 gas 12 pool Bane Bust. 1-base double gas Ravager. These are builds that can take him out. And Byun actually did suffer against a 1-base Ravager verse. It was Serral, funnily enough, who was the one who was the first guy to punish him with that the last time Byun was on a hot streak and had that as a weakness. What are we looking at? Are you trying to win the game or are you trying to show off? Dark is rushing burrowed banelings. You know what, guys? I think he thinks he's up against a 3 racks because he hasn't seen that it's a quicker factory and stuff. So he probably is just thinking, you know what? Around 5:30, there's going to be a big army arriving at my base, maybe 6 minutes. If I can get 2 burrowed banelings here, I can just detonate and kill the whole bush, and then I'm way ahead. This is such a gamble, though. This is such a gamble. He's got to morph Banelings right now. He's a bit slow on it, guys. Burrow's finished, mate. You should have already morphed the Banes. Dark! And he should also send a Zergling down the bottom to go burrow on this base before that lands. He's got to make use of it, man. Because the thing is, you need to burrow well in front of the creep, because you can't burrow on creep, because they're always going to scan to clear the creep. So Dark, you're going burrow and then forgetting to use it. This is a very classic Dark style opening. Puts himself in a weird position, but never count him out. He's an absolute monster. He's got 7 queens. He's trying to go double evoke. Plenty of Ling Bane there. Hellbats are being rallied in, remember, guys. And he's got a really quick second factory, so he's going to go Drilling Claws really early and do lots of Widow Mine drops. What the fuck, Byun? Where's the stim, bro? What the fuck was that, Byun? Did he not have them selected? Was he pressing the wrong button? You only have 1 medevac. That's a situation where you can't just pick up at the last minute. Dude, that was an absolute fucking blunder from Byun. He just shat the bed really hard. He should have been stimming, starter stepping immediately, gunning down the Zerglings so they couldn't surround, and getting the fuck away from those Banelings. He said he saves 2 Marines. Hellbat almost loses his medevac. Straight up disaster from Byun. If he at least just hung out here, he could have denied the 4th for a little bit longer, denied the creep, and hung on the edge of creep. There was no reason to be pushing in there up against a guy who's heavy on Banes and whatnot. Dark still has not shown Burrow. Oh, he cancelled it. He cancelled Burrow? Oh, okay. I thought I saw Burrow finish. No, okay, maybe someone in chat caught. I'm looking at chat. Apparently no one there caught it either. Okay, he cancelled it when it was about to finish, I guess. I pay attention to what's going on in the game. This is, of course, from this week's EPT Korea tournament. This was the semi-finals, guys. And I've had this series highly recommended. Now, with this style, guys, quick third command set. Well, it's not that quick, actually. Dream likes this style. You just keep Widow Mine dropping, super awesome. It's like really obnoxious because there's just Widow Mines coming in all the time. It's super, super sick. Dropping Widow Mines, dropping Widow Mines, dropping Widow Mines, right? Small problem, guys. Small problem. You have fuck all units. His barracks count is still at 2. He just got his 3rd and 4th barracks finished. His 5th barracks is just starting. It's 7 minutes in the game. Losing some of those early Marines was such a disaster with this build because you don't have a lot of production. Yeah, you get 2 barracks up nice and early, so you get an initial good number of Marines, but you don't scale up from that production for a long time. Now, he's going to go for a big Widow Mine drop. He targets it. He gets 5 drones. That medevac will go down. Gave up on life. Hello? Alright. Oh, Dark with the tricks. Oh, shit. Dark fucking turns, looks at me angrily and sternly. He says, Tricks? Tricks are what a whore does for money, pig. This is magic. I'm okay, Dark. I'm sorry. I should be respectful. The magic. He does the magic in the mineral line there with his spore dodging it. More Widow Mines coming in, guys. Once again, though, not getting the big hits. So remember, he has like 10 Marines and a tank to defend with. This is the downside of this, is like you actually can just get rolled over. He is denying a lot of mining time. Let's be real. That is damage in of itself, just denying a lot of mining time, and it's never going to stop. And this is actually a Dream used to do this a lot, like I said, right? They used to just kind of come in, Widow Mine drop, Widow Mine drop, Widow Mine drop, and if you just keep the Zerg busy enough, even if they have a really big economy, at some point you're like, oh, I have 4 bases and I'm maxed on Biomine, and you never found the window to actually counterattack me. And what a lot of Zergs realized when they were playing against Dream during that period is they could just fucking A-move him with Ling Bane, right? They were like, oh, normally attacking with just 1/1 and Ling Bane is not good. In this scenario, yes. In this scenario, yeah, you can. He just doesn't have any units. Like, Byun is literally wide open. He's very lucky. He's got 1 tank on the high ground. He's lucky that Dark's not taking advantage of him for it. So Dark maybe not quite realizing what style he's up against. Oh, sorry guys, we just pressed rewind for 10 seconds. My bad. Of course, we are casting this for replay, as this is cast on my best games stream. Yeah, he has no idea. Dark has not really been scouting his base at all. He's just been kind of reacting to what he sees, as we hear a bit of that Korean Caster Park voice pack there. And Widowmine's going to burrow behind, so he's hoping for a big drone transfer to come in. And then if all the drones are like coming in all stacked at once, before they spread, that Widowmine goes off. Alright, we've got a bit of creep clearance, which is a thing. Unfortunately for Byun, Dark is at 85 workers, and Byun's gotten a lot better at late game recently. For those who don't know, Byun isn't just a guy who needs to cram it in the first 30 seconds or he's dead in the game like he once was. Like, it used to be with Byun, you're like, oh no, the game's going past 13 minutes. Like, because everyone kind of knows how to play late game in 2021 pretty well. But Byun's become legitimately good in the kind of late mid-game, early late game, getting a 4th, getting a 5th, getting a 6th, sometimes even building the Iron Bank. He plays a much more patient style than we've ever seen from him before. There are still moments where he goes into that chaotic, just marines all over the place micro style. But he's very capable of slowing it down now. And really, it just feels like he's less on a timer than he used to be. Byun, of course, for those who don't know, got absolutely fucked up in the last season of GSL this year. And since then, he's been angry, and he's been seeking to redeem himself. Good pickup. So he saves most of the units there. Of course, that Widowmine did do a lot of friendly fire, but 17 kills in total. And these Widowmines, you know, they're very annoying. Dark will come in, but he might take a big one. Ooh, loses a few Banes. Luckily, a few of those Banes don't quite get hit. But these trades are always good. Even just like, oh, he used 3 Banelings to kill a Widowmine. You're looking kind of okay. But, yeah, back on point. So Byun's been trying to reassert himself. He's like, I am a top player. Go fuck yourselves. People are like, Byun's washed. Like, the number of fans in a chat when Byun's there, there'll be people like probably today while I'm casting this coming in my Twitch chat going, Byun, oh, he's not even good anymore. He's gonna get his ass kicked. And I'm like, guys, I get it. You only watch GSL. You only watch the season finals. You saw him get his ass kicked in that GSL group. You think, wow, he's bad. It's one day of StarCraft. And don't get me wrong, it was kind of representative of the previous couple of months for Byun. But since then, it's been a big turnaround. He's been really, really powerful. The number of times he's beat Zest is like, he's been dominating Zest quite a bit. Beating Zaun a lot in TVP. You guys know Zaun's a very dangerous player. Zaun did win their last run-in. But yeah, definitely an interesting kind of turnaround to see exactly how Byun's just become strong. Look, he's adding ghosts. He's chilling. He's like, yeah, it's romanticide. He's like, I think at this point, all the Terrans have watched enough Maru to realize, like, wait a second, we can actually just defend with, like, that's going to be a planetary. Tank, tank, tank. Okay, I think he can move this tank forward. That's a little bit conservative. Ooh, get out, Byun. Okay, saves most of the bio there. Sees a lot of Hydralink Bane. That command center needs to go south. Byun, save it, save it. Yeah. He'll get that out. There's not that many Hydras there, guys. They do have both upgrades in terms of muscular augments, grooved spines to go with their very smooth brains. It's a good combo, you know, the grooved spines, the smooth brains, but if you can get both of them with grooves, it's even better. We'll have to see how Dark plays it out, because Dark, like I said, he's such an exciting player because he can make amazing comebacks. He can throw advantages, and it's not like he's got a massive lead. He's ahead. He's not infinitely ahead in this game. Those ghosts getting jumped on. Byun a little bit cavalier with them. You know what? They're the perfect bait. Holy shit. He knew exactly what to show as well. You know? Similar to how in the 1920s, you could show a little bit of ankle and people would come a running. As a Terran versus Zerg, you show just a little bit of ghost out front your base, Zerg cannot resist. They're like, whoa! And they fucking run at it. They just get super excited, and it was absolutely the right bait, right? He ended up losing maybe 3 ghosts there. Yeah, 2 ghosts. He killed a shitload of Zerglings, some Banes, some Hydras, and look at that. He knew that Lurker Nidus would be coming. He's got turrets, he's got Vikings. He can leave a Viking down here to stop these guys crossing. And Byun, he's got a planetary about to finish. Part of me would want to lift that. I'd lift that. I would actually lift that planetary if I was him, because I'm a pussy. I would try to keep it alive. It does take some damage, but you know what, guys? That ultra-conservative tank on the high ground, I think you see that as Dark, and you're like, oh, fucking hell. How deep are his defenses? Units lost tab, looking not too bad for Byun. He does really want to secure that 5th base as the Iron Bank grows. That, of course, brings him up to a total of 5 orbitals. That'll be probably number 6, though maybe he makes a planetary in the top. Burrowed Zerglings being a pain in the ass as Burrow finally comes in. And we are now seeing ranged upgrades added in there as well. Armory being added, a 2nd armory, as well as 2 Ghost Academies. So, guys, we're going to see multiple nukes. We're going to see upgrades coming in on the armories as well. Where is the 1st armory? Okay, right there. Armory. So he's going to go full upgrades for his tanks and whatnot. Now, going heavy on tanks, very dangerous. Why is that so dangerous? There's a little thing called the Broodlord. The Broodlord is not the greatest versus ghosts. It's kind of very reliant on you fungling them or surrounding them with Ling Bane, or, you know, really going in and out and not letting them snipe you. This is a very expensive attack. If he gets the SCVs, it's worth. He's going to get the SCVs. Byun a little slow to evac the SCVs there. And it looks like it's an okay trade for Byun. I think as Byun, you're rich. As Dark, sorry, you're rich. You can take trades like that. It doesn't look great on the units lost, but I think that's actually acceptable, especially if you're still denying this base. So this is totally fine. He just remaxes on 80 Zerglings. No fucks given. Oh, Dark's a Chad. He tries to pop a Nidus Worm on a tank. It looks like maybe that made the tank friendly fire the other tank. That's Dark just being a bit of a dick. Byun's going to try and add another planetary there. He's going to try and take this base. I love this base. I think this base is really, really good to defend, because if you get that, you also get the base below it. Oh, Lurker's in the open. Big blunder there from Dark. Those Lurkers, fortunately, unlike siege tanks, if you catch siege tanks out in the open, they die. But the Lurker is a siege tank that is permanently high on those stim packs. Ghost do clear up the top side. He will clear up the Nidus. He's got to watch out, though. This base, he has got to lift that. Mass Zergling, and there's not many Marines here. Perfect compositional kind of swap up from Dark, where the Lings are so good versus Marauder Tank Viking, right? That composition so good versus Lurker Bane, but it's not nearly as good versus the Lings. I say, as my ear is really itchy. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with my ear, man. I'm like sitting here just fucking scratching at my ear like an animal. Sorry, guys. Ooh, he still can't get... I think give up on this base. At this point, think of this command center as bait, is what I would do as Byun. Focus your units on the left side, because then you get 2 bases for 1. The way you lose this sort of game as Terran right now, assuming the Zerg never goes Broodlords, is trying to split your army between both sides. Because what you're doing then is you're presenting economy army for the Zerg to fight in small engagements. As a Terran, you want big engagements. You want to jump on top of them, you want to have all your firepower concentrated. But look, tanks in the open, because he's spread too thin. They didn't have anything guarding them. And Dark's got this, man. Byun, not quite as methodical and perfect. I actually think this is the sort of game Maru could have come back in. Byun, though, not quite good enough to withstand the absolute storm that is Dark. He's so quick to refocus the angle he's on. Getting the lift there is huge. The Banelings just hold position over the Widow Mines. So as the Ghosts kill them, they do take out the Widow Mines by default. That Lurker goes down. Byun's got command centers fucking floating around the map. Dark, if he kills that, he's killed it. He's queued those Hydras to A-move. Oh, that's so expensive, man. Command centers take so long to build. And now, check it, guys. 1 planetary, 5 orbitals. He's got 2 command centers that haven't morphed into anything yet. But he's bleeding out, and the thing is, Dark can trade like this for days. He's got 93 workers. The only criticism I have of Dark is that he hasn't moved workers to this corner or this corner in a big way yet. I talk about this a lot, guys. If you're up against someone who's mega turtling, you want to take these bases that are much easier to defend, all these central ones, and grab the drones, move them to the corners. Go mine out that base. Hell, maybe you can even mine this base out now that you've cleared all the static from there. But get bases mining on the corners, because those are going to be near impossible to secure if this game kind of resets and becomes a bit more of a stalemate. Right now, Dark has momentum. He's still going in for the kill. God, that's a lot of Banelings! Goodbye, Mr. Planetary Fortress. Oh my god, I mean, he's like, well, it took like 300 of you to take me out, so I think it's worth it. Dark's like, lol, you think that cost me money? Get out! Get out, Byun! GG. Alright, guys, let's go. It's time for game 2. So, down here in the bottom left, nice convincing game 1. It's Dark. A bit of a harder map for him, I'd say, though. He has pretty good results on it in the past, as he gets proxy racks. This is Byun. Byun's like, alright, that didn't work too well. Let's proxy rack him. Now, let's be real, guys. If Byun didn't throw away those first Marines by fumbling his stim, and I honestly don't know what was going on in that first engagement. Just no stim, no stutter step. It was super awkward, right? So I don't know what exactly was the problem there and what was going on, but it was definitely a little bit bizarre in that first engage, and I think that put him in a bit of a rough position from there. And then I think he made the classic mistake that I've pointed out many times before, guys. He tried to expand to 2 opposite sides of the map at the same time. As a Terran, lock down your defenses and expand to one side. Think about it. He had built a planetary and layers of tanks on his third, and then he just tried to take an expansion in front of that. Basically, completely negating everything he built before that point. It's like, well, you built a layer of defense behind this. He's like, yeah, now I'm going to expand in front of it, so it's not even useful. And I'm like, focus your army on one side. This is so important as a Terran in that scenario. The Zerg is like, please keep overextending. Please keep putting command centers out in undefended locations. Spread your shit out. And it's going to be, you know, this big issue if you don't actually handle that just right. So I think Byun definitely presented some opportunities where otherwise maybe a comeback would have been possible. Now, Dark's going to see this barracks. Yes, the lift is... Oh, that's gross. SCV gets spotted. There's a bit of marine production there. He has one marine out. He's obviously not going to go for the overlord because he can just hide on the pillar. And notice he's even queued it to run because he knows after the first wave gets deflected, the marines could come back with a floated barracks to kill it there. So he's already going to think about sending that overlord off to the left side. Now, bunker's going to go down. Only a few drones getting pulled initially, but there we go. And you can see it on Dark's control groups. 14 drones on one group, and the marine and the SCV already like, get out! We know he's not mining. That's already damage, right? That's a lot of drones to not be mining. Will he start another bunker? He wants to. Ooh-wee. Uh-oh. Spine crawler's on the way, man. That's already almost halfway built. Gonna try and get some damage on it. Try and force those drones off the line. I think Byun's basically forced so much lost mining time that he's almost done, guys. I think he's almost done with this. He's gonna try to force one more fight because he wants to kill more drones, but he's running out of time. He's gonna get like one more drone, and then he probably needs to leave 2 more drones. Okay, so he gets 2. He'd like to get a 3rd. I mean, it's not an impressive amount of kills that he's got this game. But you know what? He damaged the spine a lot. The queen's going to save energy for transfuse, so they'll get transfused in about 20 seconds. Queen in the main dropped an inject. 21 workers versus 21. And it's interesting to see a Terran be so cautious. Of course, he's got the factory, building a reactor. He wants to build the command center on location. So if he loses all of his marines, very hard to defend that. Ooh, okay. Goes after the queens, but look, she gets back and she's got 50 energy. Drones being pulled though. Ouch. Ouchies. Ooh, okay. The delayed, you know, doing good. The queens can kind of kite the marines down. You can transfuse that queen when she takes a bit more damage. The marines just sending all those drones off on a bit of a walkabout around the map, and yeah, they're gonna go down. Good micro by Dark. One more. Oh, he focused one more drone down. Well done by Byun. So 7 drones there in total. That's 9 workers going down. Aliens are on the way. Brings 2 marines home. He's gonna get an overlord snipe there. That's a good way to get some damage. Some damage. You can always turn those marines to the right to ensure he gets it, but it does go down. Both barracks floating home. Starport on the way. This definitely feels like a pretty huge Byun lead. To me, it's just like, wait, there's no ling speed. You've only got 2 queens. You don't have a 3rd hatch started. You got some creep. That'll spread. That's nice. But I mean, how much will it spread? You've already got marines walking across the map again. Hellions are going to join up with them. Can you even defend this 3rd base? Like, yeah, this is super awkward. I think this was way too much damage. He pulled a lot of drones, and you often think, oh, you need to get kills. You need to get kills. We saw that if the Zerg pulls that many drones and you keep them pulled off mining, you don't need kills. They're not mining, and that's why it worked out. Is it a new control group that shows hotkeys? Was that always an option? This is the Game Heart replay interface, guys. So I can control Shift G to bring that up. You can download Game Heart interface. It's really good. It's just very minimalistic. A lot of people are like, I prefer WCS. It's more clear what the info is. I'm like, well, it's actually like, the numbers are slightly bigger, and that's about it. So other than that, it shows you all the same info. If I don't select anything, down here in the bottom, you can see APM, as well as like, I don't know what the fuck these numbers are actually, but that's units lost, and that's the APM. Units lost is the most useful. This is doing damage, guys. This is doing big damage. It's just such a nice interface, and being able to see control groups, I find very interesting. I don't know why they don't have that on the WCS one. Oh, if he loses this hatch, he's screwed. Or if he loses all of his workers, he's got slow Zerglings. Slow Zerglings versus Hellions! Oh, welcome to the barbecue, bitch. Byun ties up the series. Alright, alright, alright. Let's go, guys. Down here in the bottom left side, this is DPG Dark. And in the top right, we have Shopify Rebellion's Byun. Going for a gas first in TvZ. Ooh, we never see this anymore. He's opening battle cruiser, maybe. So the 2 things I like gas first for is skipping scout, going straight Reaper into Hellion Liberator BC, Hellion Lib BC, or Hellion Viking BC, just because your factory gets down real fast and all this. The reason I'm surprised that Byun's doing it is Byun doesn't build a Reaper normally, so he's just like, well, I can just build a Marine, not scout, and get the factory down at pretty much the same timing and have fast Hellions without going gas first. So the fact that he's going gas first means he's definitely going to be investing in some rather expensive tech. I would imagine. We'll see exactly. Or he's going for, yeah, maybe he just wants the Reaper and he wants the fast factory. Could be a quick 4 Hellion dive that he's planning. Reaper's there, denying creep, looking for drones, looking for Zerglings, bam, 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 and then your Hellions roll in. You can even add a... He's gonna go reactor first? Why would you go... Why... Was it gas first? Or am I crazy? Oh, yeah, this is gas first. He's got 100 gas already. After the 50 gas on that. What an interesting build. He's got to drop the second gas immediately. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Second gas should go down. No. You want to do that before the depot, Byun. What is this build order, Byun? Why are you confusing me so much? I don't know what this build is. SCV is not building for a moment. There we go. Waited for the 50 minerals. No second gas. Okay, so he's gotten the gas first just so he can unlock some tech off a single gas geyser. But then he's still going to stay single gas to get a quicker third command center, perhaps. Starport plus armory is obviously very expensive, right? So maybe a Hellbat timing in here. Maybe he swaps the factory over. Yeah. So 4 Marines... 6 Hellbats, a medevac. Okay, alright, yeah. And then he'll probably rally a lib after the medevac as like the follow-up behind the Hellbat timing. Yeah, this can work. This could be cool. Ooh, he thought he queued 2 Hellions, but he only queued 1. Oh, he's doing a pig, guys. Byun's doing a pig. He's gonna notice when it pops out and he's like, where's your buddy? Fuck. So he's gonna be a Hellion short with this build. That's a mistake. Now, Dark... Against the Hellbat timing, you want to either have a massive queens. Dark very rarely does that. Dark usually stops at 7 queens, sometimes even less, especially if he goes roaches. So you want banelings, roaches, or a massive queens. One of those 3 things to defend a Hellbat timing, okay, guys? Now, a slow Zergan comes in, he's like, what are you doing, dickhead? He sees 4 Marines. That makes you think, is this 2-1-1, or is this one of these, like, Marine Hellbat timings? Those are the 2 things that pop to mind when I see, oh, the barracks is pumping a lot more Marines than normal, right? Medevac's on the way. Armory is not started just yet. He's got to start that soon. Because obviously the Medevac pops out, boosts across. You want to hit pretty much immediately with the Medevac and Hellbat Morph. But yet again, Hellion production is not consistent. This seems like a little bit of a botched opening from Byun. There's nothing happening as well. Maybe his focus not quite there in this game. We'll see exactly. Maybe it's just Hellion drop or Marine drop plus Hellion run by. But... fascinating. No Hellbats? Okay. Weird build order from Byun. Curious to see how it plays out. Dark playing ever so standard. Except for... No, second gas Roachwarren. He's cave bobbing. Well, it's kind of macro cave bob in that he's at 44 drones, but Roachwarren definitely very good for defending Hellbats. Byun's going to be happy that he's staying mobile. I think this sort of flexible pressure is actually really good versus Roach play. Because you can kind of poke in, poke out. Ling speed's done, guys. There's 14 Zerglings. They can definitely stop the Hellions. So good for Byun to be patient there and chill. Queens split there. No queens in the main because they're defending the Hellions. So he's going to use Zerglings to defend the drop, queens to defend the front. Okay. Not bad. A little dangerous because Hellions, of course, can run past queens. But overall, I think this is working out pretty damn well for Dark. Byun is going to go second and third barracks and then third command center. So Byun kind of has to go for a tank push. Yeah. So I imagine we're going to see, like, I guess what I'd call a 2.5 base tank push here with Bio. Doesn't quite get any drones, but he doesn't lose any Hellions, so it's okay. Ooh, Liberator comes in the back door. Dark, though, not a stranger to surprise backdoor action. He does it to people all the time, and he understands it's a quick move of the spores, calm move of the drones, pull them away, pull them back. Ooh, if we can get the queen, that would be pretty big. Gets the queen, will lose the Liberator, though, as it's getting shot down. Can he make it worth it, though? Hellions get a few more drones. He's going to get a couple more in there. He's trading. He's going to trade his Hellions out here for as many drones as he can get. Of course, the Liberator went down at the same time, so he loses 6 Hellions and a Lib for 13 drones. It's not bad damage, and he's got a tank to defend this Ravager poke. Problem is those Ravagers, if they kill all 4 depots, this is worth it, I think, for Dark. I mean, it's still a lot of gas to spend in Ravagers, but it's a real big disruption to get supply blocked at this point. So Dark's going to be nice and annoying. It's not even really worth repairing these because then he'll just pick them off with Biles and Ravages as well. Tank doesn't cover everything. He's going to try to go out and fight this, but enough Zerglings to kind of scare the Marines back. So Byun, he should be building more depots right now. There we go. He starts them up now. You could tell he wasn't really kind of ready to accept that these depots were going down. He was like, no, I can keep them alive, bro. I've got stim. Without combat shields and with the tank a bit too far back, he wasn't able to. He's going to try and counter drop with Marines. Overlord says, I see you. So he just kind of, it's like, all right, no, we'll just use that to kill the Overlord. Still a pervert above the natural pillar as well. That one's really hard to kill on this map. You kind of need to get Marines there and there. And we're going up to 5 barracks, double upgrades. He's got 2 tanks. He's got a decent pack of Marines, 1-1 and combat shields. Yeah, 1-1's still 80 seconds away. Maybe he pushes on the 4th base. But it feels like it's going to be a little bit awkward finding that push timing. Dark is now up to 68 workers. He's got 3 bases completely full. He's going to start his 1-1 upgrades in a moment as a couple of drones make their way to the 4th. So he's going to go, yep, heavy Roach. We're going to see Cave Bob here, guys. Make some Roaches, don't really get anything done with them. In this case, it works out because he deflected the pressure very well of Byun. And you can see he's even traded better overall. But as it is, he's just going to go slowly into Lurkers and Vipers. Now, if the Bio's a big threat, he might add a few Infestors just as a way of going and kind of fungling big packs of Bio, force Byun to not be as mobile and aggressive, put a bit of fear into him. But he wouldn't want to be staying on the Infestors for very long because as the tank count grows, Infestors are a very unreliable source of DPS. They're an ambush unit. And ambushes are not reliable. Usually you can pull off the first one pretty reliably. If you're sneaky, you set it up well. But once you've shown that you're going to be doing that, your opponent will be cautious and keep their eyes open for it. So, oh, he's going to just dive. Roaches don't have very high damage outputs. He gets a Ravager, gets a few Roaches. Drop on the left side, gets deflected. Dark here. He's building mass Roach right now. Way up in supply, but it's Roach Ravager supply. Ravagers 3 supply. Roaches 2 supply. Marine's only 1 supply, and a Marine has pretty much as much damage output as a Roach or Ravager in terms of raw stimmed damage output. So you can imagine when you get to these big army supplies, the fact that the Terran army has 2, 3, sometimes 4 times as much damage when you factor in tank splash, it's a disgustingly unfair fight. Once the Terran has anything even approximating even numbers in supply, the Zerg gets fucked up so hard. Now, getting there is another story, as the Zerg can mass those units very well. Lots of Overlords going down. Dark is just going to use his rally, I guess, to deal with this. He's going for a giant attack on the front. The tanks go back very far. They're not concentrated, though. I would criticize that Byun's tanks are a little too spread. You don't want them close, super clumped so they get hit by 2 Biles. Those tanks, though, once they got the volley off, this is a no-go zone. But Dark can absolutely control this area, and that's what I'm talking about. I would have liked to see a few more tanks spread down there. Now, that Marine drop did great damage, though. I still think I prefer Byun's position here, but he's got to leapfrog 1 or 2 tanks forward. He can't keep walking into that. He will bile that command center down. That's a lot of Ravagers. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. He gets 3 Ravagers there. Disengages, gets back to the tanks. And if he just leapfrogs a tank forward, he's got a better army right now, it does Byun. He's also got 2-2 halfway finished. Vehicle weapons about to kick in. Dark's hanging out here. He's trying to intimidate the Terran. He's waving his arms. Ooh, oogie boogie. I got the Zerg units. Byun will not be intimidated, though. Picks off a few more Roaches and Ravagers. He's going to try and drop across the map. Now, that's a silly move. That is an absolutely ridiculously stupid move. He has been studying Maru on how to throw games against Rogue, apparently. He says, I like that GSL finals. It was really fun, the part where Maru kept picking up and dropping while being all in. And I was like, yeah, you like that? You like watching Terran throw matches, which should be easy wins? I don't. He's all in. I get Dark has dangerous lurker transitions here, but there is one goal: survive. If you can keep this 3rd up and mining, you know you already fucked up his 4th real hard. Yeah, it's probably saturated by now. That's the worst case. Like in Byun's mind, he's like, that's full. He's going Hive, Lurker Den's on the way. Obviously, he doesn't see everything we see. No. His economy is shit. Dark's economy is very bad. His creep spread's not that great. He does not have an infestation. He does not have a Hydra Den. He does not have a Lurker Den. He can't even start that because he doesn't have a Hydra Den. But Byun here wants to push. And this is how you throw a match. Maru has shown us many times, Clem as well a few times. They're both experts at throwing matches versus Roach Ravagers. I'm big fans of both of them. They have a weak spot. It's called not understanding how good Roach Ravager is at fighting in the mid game. And seems to have caught Dark out of position. I'm surprised Dark didn't just go in and base trade there. I think that might have been the better choice. A wild move may pay off for Byun here. High risk, high reward. Even though he's become more of a late game player, deep in his soul, there's one thing Byun wants to do, and that's micro marines into your base like a fucking psycho. Don't get those biled! Oh my god! Okay, he's lucky they didn't spread across more than one medevac there, but yeah. Byun, you know, I have, honestly, I've been talking to TLO, of course, as the head of Shopify Rebellion Esports, and I've been saying, you know what, Byun is an amazing player, I'm a big fan. I have one piece of advice. If you want to help take his play to the next level, you need to get him a special coach. And TLO said, my ears are open, pig, tell me. And I said, yeah, you need to teach him how to waistband it. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, sometimes he clicks with his dick a little bit, parting style, and he's got to learn to contain that. And he said, but that's the secret to his success. Right now he's outplaying, he's multi-proing him. I said, yeah, sometimes it's a bit hit or miss though, don't you think? And he said, no, I believe in the power of my players. Unlike you, you're a hater pig. I'm TLO, and I'm not going to tell him to waistband it. We want him to embrace it. Get in there, click like a psycho, get aggressive, be dangerous. And you know what? It seems to be paying off this game. Tanks unguarded, but there is a deep layer of tanks pushing into that. Oh my god. The tank layer, it doesn't end. Drilly boys. The Drilly boys try and assemble there. We see, oh man, tanks without marines to guard them. Way more vulnerable. Byun taking massive damage. Now keep in mind, Dark's fucking dead behind this. So he needs not just massive damage, he needs a kill move, man. The bio, that drop's moving around being annoying. This drop's gonna kill the fourth. Dark's on 46 workers. He kind of needs to kill Byun right here. He loses a hatch. The marine drop on the left will finally get cleaned up. This army up here, he's gonna get some Ravagers. Or is he? Uh-oh. Ow. Okay, a few Ravagers go down. The tanks on the high ground are pretty much unbreakable. Oh, he's gonna try and overseer says, oh, I can spot you, cheeky little siege tanks. But there's a lot of them. He could only see one. He didn't realize there was like 4 tanks there. And this is the corrosive bile. The tanks, of course, unsieging and pulling back. And Byun actually, like I said, has been developing his late game a lot, guys. He's really been getting very good there in the slow game. I think honestly, what I would have liked to see, as much as I'm kind of joke criticizing him, is I would have liked to see him scan the fourth before any of these wild move outs, whether it be pick up all your marines, try to boost out, send out half your marines and tanks. You know, any of those moves, I really think scanning the Zerg's fourth or their hive tells you a lot. No hive on the way equals no pressure for you as the Terran to go trade. Zerg doesn't have their fourth full of workers, no pressure. And I think this is something that like Clem has actually gotten really... I've always noticed that in a lot of situations where I would go on autopilot, when I watch Clem, he just scans the Protoss or the Zerg third or fourth base, and he's like, check that work account, you know, see where I am compared to my opponent, and that really informs a lot of your decisions. Should I attack? Should I defend? And something I've been trying to do more in my play, and I still suck at it, of course. But anyway, Infestor's coming out, and he's going to go Burrow, Tunneling Claws, and then he's probably going to try and steal all the siege tanks with Neural Parasite to make a comeback. The thing is, Dark's economy has regrown way quicker than Byun's. Byun lost his 4th command center like 2 or 3 times. He's only just restarting, and the supply looks like really good, right? Keep in mind, no hive. It's just started. Keep in mind, there's no Neural just yet. He's only got 4 Infestors. He's going 6 Infestors. That's a lot. Yeah, he's going to go Neural for sure with this. You kind of have to, I think, if you go that many. I mean, you can kind of stall out your opponent's advance with Fungal. He's also going to swap melee Hydrodan, so he's going to try and swap into Lurkerling Bane. Really? Dark is a wild man. I would not believe I could make that transition possible. I guess he feels like Infestors is, like I said, good ambush unit. He's also got Tunneling Claw Roaches. Ooh. Byun's played against you before. He knows your sneaky tricks, your dick bag. These guys are going to try to get in that turret will finish though. It's a big drop on the other side of the map. And the Infestors, I believe they've been spotted, guys. As long as Byun, maybe he hasn't. Maybe he hasn't. Oh, good reactive spready. Byun, of course, as always, for those who didn't know, he did train with the Korean gymnastics team for the last Olympics. It's part of why his spreadies did come to a new level. Really working on that flexibility and doing those marine backflips to avoid banelings, fungals, storms, disruptors. One pervy boy, he spotted you! He spotted you! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's gonna try and bile. Oh, I don't know if he got enough concentration. He didn't. He fucked up. He only damaged the 3 tanks. He loses a lot of Ravages. Oh my god, that's what I'm talking about. Ravages make your supply look a lot better than it is, guys. He just lost like 8 Ravages. This one Infestor could do so much. I don't think tanks can siege while fungal. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. I'm not sure. I feel like they can't. I feel like you can't use abilities while fungal. I don't know, maybe? I don't think you can, man. Like, I don't think you can teleport out of fungal either. Anyways, Marine Marauder, one tank goes down. He gets an Infestor. He almost gets a second one. Oh, great focus fire by Byun. This drop, this base just never able to mine. I said it's a wild transition for Dark to try to make, to swap into like Lurkerling Bane from here. I think you guys are seeing why now. He really needed to be out in front of that army with all of his Roach Infestor and stalling it out. Roach Infestor is a composition I'm very passionate about because I like to use it a lot. It's a lovely stalling composition. It's not a game-winning composition. If you let them set up like this, you've already lost the battle. You needed to intercept him out on the map, drop fungals on that army, drop the biles on the tanks before they siege, right? You've got to force your opponent to kind of crawl across the map, scanning, dropping turrets. Dark let Byun get forward, and now look at the way Byun is just... Oh, that was a terrible fungal. He's just spreading. He's spreading. He's baiting him into the tank line. That's such an expensive position to push into for Dark, who's trying to defend with just mass transfuse, Infestor. I mean, he's the best Ravager Infestor Queen player in the world. But with this many siege tanks, this much bio out, it is a hard ask. I mean, don't get me wrong. Byun's economy is shite and has been for a long time. He doesn't have all of his tanks here either. This is just 7 of the 9 tanks that he's got on the front. Oh, a big fungal. Oh, he's landing some very good... those follow-up fungals went for the tanks rather than the bio. I think Dark there, because he's literally tabbing between... He's 3 spellcasters. He's dropping biles and transfusers and fungals. It's not perfect pinpoint accuracy on the fungals, but the fact that he's doing all 3 at once is nearly impossible. I don't know how he does it. He's going to drop biles all over that front. Gets a tank, gets 2 medevac, gets a marauder. I mean, he's very good. Like, it almost feels like you have to go home. The way the Ravagers keep getting damage done, you're like, how the fuck? Because normally, you want to clump your bio out here and kill the Ravagers as they get in bio range, so they get punished. But if you clump your bio, the fungal's punishing you. So Dark is actually, despite the tanks being all in this big battle line on the front, he's finding a way to actually make these fights look kind of cost efficient. And yeah, he's a little behind in the resources lost. Yes, Byun's got a 4th orbital. He can float his natural down somewhere as well. Probably should be moving that, but he's kind of not really able to secure much. Byun's like, shit. Dude, I gotta keep dropping scans all game. He's gonna try and get out of there. He forgot 2 siege tanks. He forgot 2 siege tanks. Okay, he's like, oh, I got spotted retreating. Quick, siege up again so he can't chase me. Byun's very worried about getting caught on the retreat. He also doesn't really want to give up this position. 3-3 is going to finish and tie up the upgrades there for these guys. And got that Marine Marauder drop on the left side. Roach Ravage is there. He's not going to find much damage. Dark, quick to react as always. Looks like just a single drone goes down. Definitely would love a Spore Crawler on this edge. He's going to build one there for now. That drop will rotate into the main base. So 5th Command Center goes down, still on just 44 SCVs versus 56 drones. It's a low economy game, and he just keeps sending roaches in one at a time. He's like, if you don't keep scanning this, I will make you shoot yourself. Unburrow. He should have unburrowed earlier when the tanks could shoot. But he sees the unsiege. He goes for the tank snipes. Where's the Infestor? Ooh, he forgot to bring his Infestor in, guys. But he clears every single... Oh! Oh, no, he didn't! Infestor! Oh! Oh! Ambush Fester pops up and says, hello. No escape from here, you cheeky little fucker. This is what happens, man. Dude, the Ambush Festers are so good. He defends the drop on the left, and I think maybe Dark can win the game. Remember, his army still just Roach Ravager. There's still a decent tank line there. Good pullback on the SCVs. Let the tank siege. They're a bit clumped right now. Unsiege that tank right now, bro. Catches Roaches trying to move in. Scans there.
Mineral field.
The constant scans having to be used is so frustrating. In this low economy situation, you're so pissed off as Byun that he keeps using Burrow like this. Melee is on the way. He still wants to make a Zergling transition. Fucking psychopath. He still wants to make a Zergling Ultra transition. 2 Marauders fighting drones over there. Drones will not be able to do damage. Marauders have 4 armor with +3. Drones will be doing 1 damage a hit. 125 drone hits to kill a Marauder. You add a medevac in there, they don't do shit. The Queens and the drones together will finally take that out. Byun engages! He dives! Oh, I think that might have been a bit too aggressive for Byun. You gotta be careful, mate. If you don't have tanks shelling, very scary. Look at the Ravager count. Every Ravager, remember, costs as much as a Mutalisk. These are not cheap. They're not cheap. Every single one that dies is huge. Gets a tank. Or does he? Tank says, nah. Dude. 37 SCVs, 61 drones. The income's not that different when you factor in mules. Just keep in mind, though, mules can't always be dropping. They're having to be used so much on the army that is a big issue. I really think adding 1 more Infestor would be amazing. But Dark, I mean, his income is... It's fucking terrible. He's desperately trying to get this base up. I mean, he's got burrowed drones here. He's got 11 drones on 1 mineral patch. And Byun's just going to keep dropping. Yeah, keep abusing the flanks, man. By the way, he's still got a tank there. That's hilarious. But yeah, drop down here as well. If he just keeps working the flanks, Byun can play very defensively here. Just work the flanks with your drops. In Dark situation, you know you are dead. You have 3 queens. That's all that shoots up. Like, if he just keeps multi-pronging, you actually can't keep up with it. Because he can have 2 or 3 dropships, forcing you to have like 50, 60 supply of Roach Ravager just running around the map. Like, like it's one of these situations where, like, you know you don't have the control necessary, and you're kind of hoping that Byun loses 1 big push, right? Like, because you can fight a frontal battle, but you've just got no muters, no corruptors. You've got 1 Viper now, but you've got nothing that shoots fucking up. So these drops, you can just like drop, kill a few drones, pick up, move around. Byun, you gotta micro, bro. You gotta micro this. Just keep dropping different bases there. So it's this really impotent position where as Zerg, you're like, cool, I have a giant army, but it's stuck defending 5 different places, and I can't even afford spores because my economy is so scuffed. Like, I got like 1 spore here, 1 spore here. These are the only 3 queens on the map. They move all the way here to hit the medevac 2 times and go, yep, that was satisfying. I definitely have control over this game. Whee! He's getting Hydras. That's going to change the story a little bit. Problem. Can't afford Hydra upgrades. So he's playing Roach, Lurker, Viper. He is not playing Hydras because they are unupgraded Hydras in terms of the upgrades that make them move fast and shoot further. And he's still on 20 Ravagers. And Byun's going to keep bouncing around, looking for angles. That main base is actually wide open. There's some valuable tech there. Byun really, I think, should be saving his boost. In this scenario, your drop is not there to do damage. It's there to piss off your opponent. That's why you should send another drop up here as well. Lurkers are there now. Dark doing a good job of securing that left side. And I love that Dark took this rich gas half base because he's realizing, like, okay, there's no way I can secure that base on the bottom right. I've just got to kind of chill. Now, Byun, he's securing down the right side as well. And he's going to try and probably take that base and then maybe this base. And this happens sometimes on 2000 Atmospheres where the players kind of trade sides. Vipers are there, so Abduct on the medevacs could be good, as could Parasitic Bomb. Ravagers, I mean, it's kind of scary to attack into that as Byun. You kind of want to, because they're so expensive compared to your kind of cheap Marine Marauder. Hard to say, though. And as Byun, do you rebuild SCVs? Because he's never done it. He's just been building a hyper-powerful maxed army. He killed the Roach Horn, but he will lose this Marauders. Nice. Band-Aids! Queens there, pull out their band-aids. They have pictures of cartoon characters and shit on them. Makes the Lurker Den feel better. Stops crying. Ooh, Vipers. Okay, what do we got? Gonna try and poke in. You gotta be so careful as Byun though. I don't really know what Byun's looking for here because he's trying to make a budget ghost transition, but he's not building SCVs. Okay, so making ghosts here is fucking trash. I'm gonna call it now, guys. Making ghosts here is not a good idea. Now the reason for that is just that if he paired that with more command centers and more SCV production, I'd be down with it. You're just sitting on 37 SCVs, like, I don't know, man. It can work, it can work. Whoa, big fight, big fight, big fight, big fight. Dark! I can't believe Dark's pushing into this angle. I can't believe you've done this. He gets 1 siege tank for fucking 8 Ravagers. Meanwhile, Byun's going to counterattack the top with a giant bio army. Oh, 2 lurkers in position. Watch out, Byun. Oh, Byun ain't going to find nothing. I mean, you'll get this hatch at least. I guess that's something. Yeah, it's just such a low economy ghost tank comp. It's the right army to counter Lurker Ravager. It is. Oh, fuck me, Byun. Stop throwing your army out. It's just that his economy is so bad, and these are long-term units. Like, you can't push very easily with what Byun's doing. You can defend, you can play a slow game, you can secure bases. So I just feel like the ghost tank composition should always be matched with keep building SCVs, keep taking command centers, keep rebuilding this, right? Because the moment you get over eager and try to force the issue, you could throw these expensive units away. As it is though, for now, both sides looking to trade more efficiently. 2 ghosts get double tapped by the snipes there. And the Marine Marauder is gonna come on in. Good snipe roaches, they're not, you know, it's not the most expensive unit, but it's worth. Gets rid of that lurker, does Byun. Oh, poor little droney. He's going to a better place, guys, don't worry. +3 melee is done. Ling speed is done. Adrenal is done. Zerglings are gonna be coming into the composition. Dark doesn't have a mineral bank, really. He doesn't have a great mineral income at just 60 workers. And we are gonna see essentially mass Ravager Lurker versus mass tank Ghost. And I guess at some point, compositionally, that's good for Byun. It just hurts me that he's not rebuilding his SCVs at all. I really feel like even if you just get back to 50, 55, I get you want to have a super big army. This is such a slow style anyway, though. Like, your army's kind of scattered everywhere. I don't know, you're not really going to be able to, like, take control and force a fight. I've got a 20 army supply lead, let's go for the win. This is really a positional game vying for advantages and edges. This is a slower match. And he starts SCVs! Byun's like, man, I can't finish this fucker, can I? He starts building a couple of SCVs. I do like that. And a few more command centers for orbitals would be great as well. He's obviously saving lots of scans because he wants to make sure that he can see those lurkers. Nothing worse than dying by running out of scans. We watched in that Serral first-person view. Whoa! Spinning lurker death. I like it. We watched in that Serral first-person view versus Clem where it didn't feel like he was winning in that Beckett game. But then he was trying to, he was like, is he out of scans? And he starts hitting 4 places with lurkers at once, and like it gets shut down, and then Clem runs out of scans and he just fucking dies. And I was like, oh shit, I never thought of that. Like, if you're just annoying enough with lurkers and they haven't saved any scans, they haven't got extra orbitals, they can just die. This is a good value, man. The Ghost Sword, Oh, remember what I said? Zerg can't contain themselves, dude. They see ghosts. Instant boner. Oh, he does EMP. He loses a couple ghosts, but he EMPs the Vipers. A bunch of Zerg does run in and die as well. Overseer does get just popped. Popped like a pimple, mate. Lurkers. Oh, terrible move. There's a turret and a scan. Oh, Dark there with a bit of a YOLO in the south side, not realizing that, you know what? I saw Byun not building SCVs. I thought he was going to try and bum rush somewhere, and I knew that would be the game-losing play. But he's actually said, no, I'm going to play defensive 37 to 41 SCVs for 15 minutes straight. Just poke with my drops. I'm going to let Dark make the mistakes. And it's worked out. It's worked out. Dark is the one who just cannot contain it. He's like, fucking shit. I've still got Mass Ravager Ling. This is not a great army. I've got to trade. But the layers of tank, they do not end. There are more layers than you could ever imagine, dude. This is, honestly, Byun is playing onion defense Terran. He's like, yeah, you killed the tank, you killed the ghost. There's another 10 tanks behind that, and another 10 tanks behind that, and there's just layer upon layer of defensive bullshit. And you know what? My ghost will venture forward for snipes whenever I think you don't have anything forward aggressive. Abducts one of them. Bio will cover. He's going to lose a few of these ghosts. Ooh, a few more maybe than he would have liked there. He's lost a total of 11 ghosts in this game. Does snipe one of the lurkers on the way out, though. Overall units lost tab, still looking fantastic for Byun. But the supply is surprisingly similar here. If I was Dark, I would have tried to throw these Ravagers away by now. I'd be like, how do you keep using Ravagers in your army when you're using Vipers and Lurkers and everything else at the same time? Dark, it seems like an easy thing for him. Just a little, this is a Marine tank harass is what this is, guys. But Dark, Says, come on, man. You think that's gonna work versus me, bro? You think this is gonna work versus me, bro? Good value defense for Dark. Very good value. And I think value is what you're looking for as both players. Byun is like, I need a turret here. I don't know why. I guess it's... Why not? Definitely wants to put a command center down there. He's waiting for this one to finish. Oh, no. So Byun's making the mistake from Romanticide, guys. He's going to try and expand there and here at the same time. Stretching yourself a bit too thin, in my opinion. Because the moment you give up this tank position, he can hit in from this side, in towards your production, your Ghost Academy, this orbital. I don't like it. I don't like expanding to both sides of the map at once. And Dark actually rotates to the south. Oh, this is good for Byun. He's got so many tanks there. This is a no-no. This is a no-no. A no-no. Don't go there. No, don't go. Ow. 27 lurkers. I fucking died this game, man. Oh, we can't find an opening. Dark's running around, dude. The swarm wants to do damage. They want to punch. They want to fight. They're like, come fucking fight us, you coward. Byun's like, yeah, no worries. Come over to my cousin's house while we're having a family gathering, and 300 of my relatives will fight you. Dark's like, no, 1v1 in the open. Let's go. Byun's just like, dude, do you think this is one? You're literally running around with your whole pack of fucking cousins. You're like, come and fucking fight me, bro. It's like, what? Why would I 1v300 you? No, you can come and fucking fight here into my defenses, and you can get fucked. Oh, watch out. Ooh-wee. I love this watchtower position, dude. That's so annoying. 'Cause the thing is, as Dark, you can't even gather information here. He's losing that mineral line. Dark kind of has to make a play. And I think it looks like he wants to make it on the south. But for Dark, you don't realize. Tank. And there could be 6 more tanks or only 1 or 2 tanks. You don't know. He's going to go for it. Dark trying to come in here. The tank layers, though. There's so many layers. I think he's got enough, though. There's not enough bio support for it. Does he, though? Oh, the army rotates down, man. The army rotates down. He doesn't quite break it. That lurker there. The ghosts realize, oh, shit, we're getting shot by a lurker right now. And the lurker will go down on the north side. Oh, maybe he could have shoved this with lurkers at the same time. He's going to nuke that base. Byun, so patient, so methodical. He's done with the days of shoving into his opponents and trying to force the issue. He's like, look, people are too good at avoiding fighting your timing attacks these days. Just don't overcommit. Just be patient. Snipe the queen, snipe their lurkers. I can do this all day. And this game has reset a couple of times so far. He's far in, still going. These ghosts are being a massive nuisance. What do you do? I mean, you need broodlords. You just need to go broodlords. But Dark's never felt he had the economy, and he's trying to play this like lurkerling bane stuff. Guys, we saw Maru showed versus Raynor at the World Championship. What happens if you're just gonna make lurkerling bane all game? When Maru fucking laughed at Raynor, he was like, "Dude, how's that? How's that?" He's like, "Oh, you're up 45 workers and 60 supply. 8 minutes into the game. I'm just gonna make tanks and ghosts and sit behind my buildings." And Reynor's like headbutting in and just throwing away tens of thousands of resources and finding no room. It's exactly what Dark's doing here. He's trying to force the issue. He will get this base. That's big. He's got Infestors in there as well. Big Fungal on the Ghost could be a game changer. Obviously, Byun's army is rotating, trying to get up here. Fungal catches 3 ghosts. Abduct will finish them off. 2, 1. No, none of them. Snipes! Uh-oh. And he's got to go forward to stop those snipes. Most of the army isn't here yet. Oh my god, has this worked for Dark? The Lings aren't quite getting the wraparound. The Bio mostly gets to safety. Does Byun have enough to hold the line? All the support units are gone. The spellcasters are out of energy. The Lurkers are going to try and do a combat retreat here. But I'll tell you what a fighting retreat does not work against. It's the long-range C10 canister rifle of the fucking Ghost, mate. There's no getting out of here. There's no getting home. You've stepped too far into enemy territory, and that will be your last move. Byun takes the 2-1 lead. 35 minutes slugfest. Alright. It is game number 4 on Lightshade. This is the Dragon Phoenix Gaming Dark. Unsolicited Dragon Pixels. What? Up here in the top left-hand side, representing Shopify Rebellion, it is Byun. Some interesting discussions in the Twitch chat after that last game. People saying, why not, get Ravens is a common thing that comes up. Ravens are really frustrating. So, because they're a spellcaster, if they get selected, it fucks up your micro. He's going to proxy Rex again. Oh, Byun, you Chad gamer. He wants the 3-1. So, okay, he's going to go proxy Rex. We'll see if... I think Dark's going to find it. Looks like Dark will find it. Let's see. Yeah. So, essentially, Ravens, if they get selected, you can't easily tab. So normally Terrans are used to tabbing between Stim and EMP or Snipe. So they can do Bio, Ghost very easily. Really hard if you get Ravens in there. Ravens really expensive. You need a Tech Lab Starport. Whereas you need to keep building Medivacs in those games to keep healing your Ghosts and Bio. Medivacs keep dying. They can get abducted or fungled. They die really easily. They're incredibly gas expensive, as I already said. Essentially, Ravens just don't really work as reliably as you'd want. But we'll talk more about that in a moment. The drones are gonna come forward. Can they get rid of the SCVs building the barracks? I don't think they can actually stop the second barracks building. Oh, Byun's like, dude, hide! Hide, dude, you gotta finish that barracks. Uh-oh. Oh, he doesn't get the second barracks finished. Dude, it needs like half a second. He wants to mineral walk through. But, okay, the Marine will come out. And that means this SCV is not going to get it. Dark's going to block it. Dark's going to block it. Byun! Okay, good pullback. I mean, this is still very expensive, right, for Dark? But, okay, he gets one drone. The Marine's going to run out. He pulls even more drones. He's chasing the SCV. He has not sent another SCV, which might actually be the wise decision at this point. Just build a command center. He knows that Dark is broke if he's got this many drones fighting this far out of the map. He's going to try and save that SCV. He's going to go CC on the high ground. Oh, wow. And he's going to start building a Reaper. So he's like, yeah, it's fine. We'll swap into Reaper. We'll play a normal game. I don't know if it is fine, though. Dark is back on mining. He's building a Queen. He'll build another Queen momentarily. That Marine. Ah! Captain Dickhead strikes. He's like, yeah, take that, you fucking idiot. One drone went die to the Marine, but that was about it. He comes in, he doesn't see a factory. He doesn't want to get trapped in there, but I think he can assume. Oh, yeah, it's probably a command center. You've cancelled that second barracks, haven't you? And he will just kind of scout around. He's going to check the factory timing here. And he's like, oh, I can't get in there? Okay. It's like, oh, yeah, it is a factory. And Captain Dickhead does go down. The Reaper does get his revenge. Overall, though, much cleaner hold for Dark, right? Compared to that previous 2 racks hold, he's got multiple Queens popping out. He's got... Oh, he's going to all in? He's going to all in? He's going Roach War and double gas? Dark is like, I can fucking kill you now. Like, he senses it. I would never try this. The gas is just starting. It's so late on the gas. But he's going to do just a Roach Ravager pressure. Maybe 7 Roaches. Morph as many into Ravagers as he can. He's got to get on gas immediately, which he has done there. He needs Overlords. He's got 3 Overlords about to pop. There we go. Okay. So it's going to be a 29 drone Roach Ravager pressure. Fascinating. Now, obviously, if he just goes Hellions and a Medivac, which is what Byun and most players love to do, that's going to work. And a third CC. Did the Zerglings just kill the Reaper? Oh, the Zerglings and the Queen came forward. The Reaper jumped up, surrounded by Zerglings and a Queen, shut down, which means no warning of this coming. If Byun builds a Banshee immediately, I think it gets out as the Roaches arrive. But he's got to swap that and immediately build it. If he doesn't, oh, he's building a Viking. I mean, it's not that many Roaches. They'll take a while to get across the map. Oh, and he cancels the Viking. Okay, Banshee, don't build a Raven. Don't you fucking dare build a Raven, mate. He's building a Raven. He's building a Raven. No, he goes Banshee. Banshee and Cloak. Okay, he's going Banshee and Cloak. The hope is alive. The hope is alive for Byun to not just die. 8 Roaches. He's morphing one of them into a Ravager. He's going to take a third base behind it. Drones already waiting there. He's got more drones on the way. Dark here with a... He just wants to push him out. He's like, no, fuck you. 2 Marines and 4 Hellions will not defend this push. The Banshee, not going to be out for another 16 or 17 seconds. Fresh Mule, and not to mention the Bile, forces those SCVs to disengage for a moment. You can't let him up the depot. Okay, Byun does manage to get it up there. Doesn't have any issues with that, despite his advanced age. And Banshee's going to come out. Okay. Banshee's going to work on this. Doesn't want to lose too many SCVs. That's the crucial part here. Okay, he's got to focus that with the Banshee. He's got to focus the Cocoon. Banshee needs to focus on the Cocoon. You can't let that heal up. Byun! He's going to let that Ravager heal. Ooh, big mistake. Big mistake for Byun. Yeah, and now he's attacking the Cocoon with the SCVs. That's exactly the wrong micro. Byun's really messing up his micro here, guys. That was I think he was in big trouble either way, but let me break that fight down really quickly. So for those who don't know, when units, a Ravager Cocoon actually has 5 armor. So if you hit that with a Hellion, which does 8 damage, it's doing 3 damage a shot. An SCV, which does 5 damage, 5 armor, equals the minimum damage you can possibly do with a unit is 0.5 per attack. So if you attack a Cocoon with, like, say 20 hit points with SCVs, you're going to need 40 SCV hits to kill it. Not to mention, I think they regen as well, right? Yeah, they regen as well, so even more. So the thing is, a Banshee has 12 damage attacks, right? So don't get me wrong, it's still reduced a lot. 2 times 12, so down from 24 to 2 times, it's going to do 14. It's going to kill this in 2 shots, and then you're going to stop a fresh Ravager getting out. And that's very important, because otherwise their hit point pool just keeps jumping up, and they keep getting more stuff. So I feel like this was a little bit of a mistake in terms of, number one, not targeting that. And I get you want to kill the other Ravager that's doing damage, but then there's another fresh Ravager. So you would have been much better just doing 2 shots on this, then finishing the other one. And then your SCVs, you want to attack the Roach, 1 armor. The Ravager, 1 armor. You just want to A-move your SCVs. Maybe surround. You do not want to target fire. So as he attacks a 47 hit point Cocoon, that's going to take 94 SCV hits. You ain't going to kill that. That is completely wasted SCV damage there. I can understand not targeting that Ravager Cocoon with the Banshee because it had so many hit points. Just ignore it, maybe, in that scenario, right? But if they're in the red, target it down with a higher damage unit whenever you can. Stop them healing up. It's really, really important. Bit of a mistake there for Byun, but he was already going to be in a very hard position. I don't think that really would have changed things around. Just an interesting detail that was missed under pressure. We're going to game 5! All right, into game number 5. Right side is Dark on Blackburn, and left side, Byun. So, oh, he's gonna fucking 2-racks again.
Thanks for the Bezos box.
No way! Okay, Byun really wants to keep 2-racksing. This is wild. Back on the Raven conversation, people are like, well, can't you just control group it? So, like, maybe the Raven's following a unit, it's not in your control groups. You gotta remember that most Terran control, as games get scrappy, and in general, high-level control is done manually. What I mean is, if the game's really clean and you just are doing a one-directional push with, like, bio tank, yeah, you might just have bio medevac on one key, tanks on another key. More often than not, though, you've got some bio tank fighting over here, some bio tanks fighting over there, you get some fucking ghosts and bio there defending a Ling run by at your rally. Those don't all have control groups, right? So you're doing a bit of F2 or just boxing units on a screen. And if you select Bio, Medevac, Ghost, cool, you're used to that. You just tab to the Ghost to snipe, tab to the other guys to stim, box and click, box and click. You just need one Raven to be in there when you box it, and then you got to do an extra tab. And it really complicates the muscle memory there. It just makes things a little bit more awkward. And we just find we lose them so often. So like I said, we need a starport on the tech lab, massive pain in the ass. You're like, oh, just build one. It's like, well, one can't be everywhere at once. You're fighting in multiple areas. So what's the point in just building one? Swap the starport, swap back. What do you build 2 then? And then you lose one. So you're fumbling around with your production at a point in the game to get Ravens to counter lurkers when you really need all your attention on your army. Because there's so much fighting going on. Costs you a lot of gas, number 2. Hurts your medevac production, so it weakens a fundamental part of your game plan. Thank you very much, Undefined Baby, with the 26-month resub. And then it also messes up your control in high-intensity situations. Now, if they had actually patched it so the Raven, you could customize it to have lower priority, people would use it more. But because it fucks up the control of all your other units by getting in the way and being this sort of superfluous spellcaster, it becomes more of a liability and an expense than what it pays off for. So it's really interesting to think about, because we wish we were good enough to use Ravens always in our armies. We're just not good enough.
My man.
Ooh! He gets us around! Oh! Oh, 3 Marines for 4 drones. Sick fight. Pull back the red one. Oh my god,
Thanks
Dark.
for the Bezos box.
Dude, Byun's trying to force the issue, and this is the thing. I keep talking about the new Byun's a late game player. He's not just horny. He's not just trying to force it. He doesn't just hit an expiry date 6 minutes into the game. the thing is, he does that one game, and then the next game he's like, fucking 2 racks. Next game, fucking 2 racks. Like, there's this thing where it's like, Byun at the moment, I really feel he's in this Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde point, where he has the fucking micro monster that comes out and wants to savage people, just rush him and charge. And he also has the calm and civilized macro guy. It's like, let's just build our bases and play a methodical mid to late game. And it's like, Byun just so drastically swaps between. And you can, I mean, that's dangerous to play against. The problem is the execution there the way it once was with such aggressive openings? Is the execution on the same level? I don't think it is. I think since he's had his wrist issues, he's relearning how to play the game. I think he's probably changed how he uses his mouse. He's definitely learning new styles. Sometimes he still just kills people with his 2 racks or his multi-prong. But you got to remember, Dark is one of the best in the game at defending. One of the best in the game at forcing draws with Rogue, apparently. And he's once again going to try and Roach counterattack. But this time around, there are still Marines on the map. He's going to hide 3 Marines? Oh! Yeah, boy! We just did what Reapers and Hellions normally do. Get wrecked! Got a creep tumor, yeah! But he's actually got 5 Marines. And he's got the command center up on the natural, which is quite greedy in the follow-up. Byun might not have done that much damage, but he forced a lot of mining time. He only lost 2 SCVs and 3 Marines. He's going Banshee before the Roaches leave the base. This is a very different scenario to last game. Dark here going for the exact same, oh, I think I can kill you, but this is not the same situation. And the Marines will clean up those slow Zerglings. The Roaches are pushing out. 8 Roaches once again, back into droning, and we'll see him move a drone out to a 3rd base in the near future. That drone was sitting at the 3rd for a long time in the previous game before he had the money build. Byun! Byun's looking for overlords and shit. He's being so greedy. Oh no, Byun! Byun! You'll have a Banshee. Like I said, that helps. It helps. It really does. The wall's not even down. You're going to kill a Roach in a moment. He's just got to focus fire these Roaches and Ravages. I like the repair. I think anything to buy a bit of time there. He's going to get the Ravage. The Marines will come in from behind. And he loses 5 SCVs, but the Marines come in from behind. They trade their lives to protect the SCVs, and I think that's the right call. He defends. He survives. 5 SCVs. Acceptable losses here. Byun does take out that Roach, and yeah, at the end of that, you might be like, well, look at the worker count. It's so bad for Terran, man. Not really. 3rd base has not started. Dark actually says, I can't even get a 3rd. I'm just going to make a lair now, make some spores, because he feels like the Banshee's going to wail on his 3rd too much. So he's like, fuck it. Let's just defend 2 base for now. Let's not give him an angle to do damage. And this is kind of that concept I talk about a lot, right? Where don't spread yourself too thin. Dark making a very mature decision at a point in the game where I would be like, I need a 3rd. I need a 3rd. Dark's like, I do need a 3rd, but I will put myself further behind if I try to stretch out there and defend that. I will probably lose the 3rd hatch while it's building. Let's just spend all my money droning, lock down 2 bases, make sure we don't lose any spores. We can move down in a little bit. We can take that 3rd a little bit later. Hopefully he doesn't see it right now. Obviously the Banshees could cancel that right now because there's no Overseer just yet. And that will be 1 cancel, but he'll be able to make an Overseer and move down there. Queens need to get down there right now. He does get a cancel on the 3rd. Double Evo goes down. Roach speed on the way. So we got Bio Tank down 12 SCVs. Not that big of a deal. He's playing. Okay, I was like, whoa, he's playing 2 barracks before 3rd command center. He proxied 2 barracks, pig. Sometimes I wonder. It's a little bit hollow in there, I think. I think it might be. I'll just hold it up to them. You guys can let me know. Just tell me, do you think like maybe I have any issues? Just let me know, okay, guys? Consensus? Let me know in the comments. I think it might be hollow. I'm not sure. Not sure if there's anything in there. It is what it is, I guess. Banshees are going to come around the top side. Everyone's like, I thought someone was knocking on my door, man! We're all scared. F you, pig. Is Pig's brain in my house? You're like, wait, am I living in Pig's head? Am I a figment of his imagination? That's right, guys. right now sitting in front of your computer, your phone screen. You are literally inside my brain. Yes. Queens accidentally attacked the hatchery there. Pent up frustrations. Get out of there. Beyond these Banshees have done good damage, guys. Really good damage. You know, the fact they're still alive, they denied the third. You've killed a good 9 drones this game. You know, 3 of them there. 13 kills on the Banshees, many of which were roaches. Double drop goes across. Third CC's getting close to finish. He's got a good tank count in a very conservative position. This is unbreakable tanks. What do I always point out, guys? When you're playing against Roach Ravager, you cannot put all your tanks down in the open. And in fact, on this map, Byun actually should take the back
Thanks for
third.
the Bezos box.
If he takes the front third, just because he's like, that's what we do because we're Terran, then I'll know that he fits in with Maru and Clem as big brain Terrans that literally like losing to Roach Ravager. You guys know I'm very passionate about Terrans throwing matches versus Roach Ravager. Byun, please take the back third. If you take this third, you can put tanks there, tanks on the ledges above it. Like, you can create this beautiful central area of power. You take the front third, welcome to fucking giant arc of shitfuckery. They can come in from this giant angle, there, up this room. They can completely surround your third. Byun! Byun! I'm telling you, Byun is the closest thing we have to a new TY lately, guys. When every other Terran is like, I'm gonna take the third out front and then die to a Roach Ravager all in. Byun is gonna take the back third. Fucking giant brain. Now, unfortunately for him, Dark's actually not gonna all in this game. I think Dark's kind of realized, like, oh, you're playing pretty conservative here. Okay, straight for 2-2, straight for Ling speed, so he's gonna swap into melee upgrades. Infestors, he's droning. He's gonna try and drone up his fourth. I do like that Dark went for the trap fourth base. This is the fourth base that looks really shiny and beautiful, but it literally is one of those gems in the Cave of Wonders in Aladdin. Don't be a stupid ass, you know, greedy ass monkey and pick it up, guys. It's almost always gonna backfire. Dark, though, is one of the few players who I think can definitely pull it off. He's going to try and focus his creep spread out here and just control the area in front of the base. For me, I can never... This always ends up just a thing I invest in, and it just loses me drones because it's such a good tank position for them up here. Byun knows about it, but he doesn't want to rush that push for the reasons we talked about before, and his upgrades are way behind. So he's going to have the armory. He will be able to start 2-2. He's just chilling for now. He's adding second factory, 10 more drones. Dark's like, ooh, you're not pushing. And Dark now, he's like, okay, 3 Infestors, pack a Roach Ravager, immediately into mass drones. He's already building Zerglings as well. He's going to swap into Lurkers. He's going to play a completely different style. If you guys are wondering where has TY been, he is in the military right now. Hopefully when he comes back, he does return to pro play. As he literally, I feel like Terran IQ dropped by 30% when he left. The entire Terran population was, oh no. Fungulu! Fungulu! Oh, that was juicy. Those 3 Infestors, I mean, yeah, they depleted their bank, but that was well worth it. Byun's like, god damn. Now, I think he saw, okay, there's probably not too much fungal. I can afford to kind of be a little more aggressive with these guys. Pull back. I love to queue it down and then try to get inside the main base. Dark is like, I hate drops. 3 spores on the edge, pooping creep. He's got a spine, a rando roach there as well. He's the spore crawler supervisor. His job is, you know, you guys know in the old days how they have to clean cannons? With like they have to clean the cannon out because of the gunpowder and like, or the musket with their little, they got like a little furry stick or whatever. That's what you have to do with spore crawlers. But obviously it's all designed by Abatha. He's a sick fuck. So what the roach has to do is every now and then it has to lube up the tube and it just goes, and it like vomits some acid into the spore crawler. So this roach boy, his job is literally to just go to the spores every now and then and just vomit inside the fucking spore crawler. It's not the greatest job in the world, but it pays the bills. You got to give him your respect, guys. Oh no, he's leaving. They might get stuck. They might get jammed, the spore crawlers. If the spore crawler lubricator is not there. You still need to clean out large cannons like that. I never watched anything about. I guess that does make sense that modern artillery would also need to be cleaned out. But is it with a big furry stick? Is there a guy in the artillery corps who's like, oh, I'm the cannon cleaner? He's like, I clean the barrel. And he like climbs inside some giant piece of artillery and he's just like giving it a scrub. I'm very curious. I don't know much about artillery, guys. 12 tanks, 8 Marauders, 41 Marines. It looks like a big attack for Dark, but I mean, I don't actually think there's a way in here. There's no ghosts yet. So the Vipers and the Infestors could land some big combos. Watch out for the fungal. Bio's very clumped. Watch out for the fungal. He can get in range for a big fungal. The Bio, remember, wants to guard. But look at that. Dark's like, hey, wait, you don't have Vikings? You don't have ghosts? Oh, I can just yoink. Yoink! He's like, Byun, I see you need a hand there, mate. You need me to yoink you off? Byun's like, no thanks, I'm not interested in that. Dark does it anyway. But there's so many units, I don't think it matters. 4 tanks does not defeat this army. The Vipers are out of energy. They need to go back and get more energy. It gives him a bit of position. Dark's being really ambitious. The tank splash is big, but he does get rid of one of them. I think as Byun, I'd like to see him pick up 2 tanks and shuffle them forward. One there, maybe one up on this ledge. Because look, now the lurkers are getting in range. Oh, this is so well done by Dark. The way he's pushing into siege tanks, like I never see anyone push this well into tanks. But he used the Vipers. His Vipers have gone back to go suck energy off the hatchery. Which sounds kind of gross, but that is what they do. Bile's getting another tank. A bunch of lurkers did go down. 2 lurkers only, actually. He's going to try and jump on it. Fungal, though. Fungal a little bit slow. Dark was not expecting him to jump forward. And Byun tanks the Fungals, kills the lurkers. And that was a very brave move. High risk, high reward, but he pushes Dark off his base. Very necessary. Now, you might be like, oh, man, but Dark's winning. Dark has a big economy. No. Guys, Byun is building the Iron Bank. The reason Byun's ghost transition is so slow is he was building 3 more orbitals. I think he lost one at the front, maybe? 1, 2 there. He's got a 3rd one that he's rebuilding now. So yeah, he's got those 2. He's got to make orbitals with those. That's going to give him the scans, the mules. It's going to help him really scale into the later stage. But the Ling transition is on the way. Does he have enough bio to defend? A crazy attack from Dark! Dark, knowing absolutely no chill, tries to cram his army in. But with Liberator's tanks now, Ghost being added in. And I mean, Byun's respect for the style that Dark's been playing is really there. And remember, Dark didn't show that he wanted to play Broodlords. He was like, no, I'm just going to cram it in. No Broodlord Infestor. Solar is always a guy where you've got to be cautious turtling this much because he's just as good with his Lurkerling Bane as he is with his Broodlord Infestor. He's shown he can beat Ghost Viking, Siege Tank, Bio, like that, you know, kind of late game Terran comp. He's done it against Maru. Solar's done it versus Byun until he ate a massive nuke as well. I guess Solar's done it versus Maru and Nuke and got nuked both times, didn't he? Jesus, maybe, I mean, Solar just has a habit of beating late game Terran and then eating their nukes. So I guess that's just his special skill set, isn't it? Oh man. Dude, the tanks are going down pretty quick. That tank's doing some good damage, but it's only 1. He needs some more. He loses his 2nd factory. He's permanently stimpacked siege tanks, guys. Now keep in mind, a siege tank does have 13 range while sieged. A lurker does only have 10. So as much as I joke about them being permanently stimmed siege tanks, they have a little bit more hit points. They're a lot faster. They burrow, unburrow way faster than a tank can siege. They do not shoot as far. So as good as lurkers are with that mobility, they're not the most amazing. Now it's going to go Hydraling Bane or Lurkerling Bane against a composition which hard counters it. So Dark right now is basically going for the thing which should not work on the map where there's especially no... Oh, you know what? There's so little bio. Maybe the Lings are good enough here. He's got to get the bio ghost forward. He's got to kill the Lings with the bio ghost. Then the tanks can work their magic. The Lings are gone. He abducts a few tanks. Snipes going down, though. God damn. A slaughter. Both sides losing a lot of units there. But I do think Terran came out on top, man. Lings are very cheap, so... It's not the worst thing to trade off large numbers of Zerglings, but... Oh shit, they hosted this on the Battle Report mod? You legends! Looks like Dark killed 3 tanks, 13 of his own Zerglings, 2 SCVs, 6... Well, this is just bugged. There's no fucking way that's correct. I don't know what... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe abduct bugs with it. The Battle Report not really showing us much there. We can just keep checking with the units lost. Right now, Dark is behind about 7,000. He's going to try and do Nidus Worms as he always does, but there are missile turrets on the edge. Ooh, I like this. This is always a good angle. Just get up there with a lurker. What wins, siege tank or lurker? The drilly boys say, our siege tank does. We're here to support him through thick and thin. We are good drilly boy husbandoos. Lib tank turret. I mean, you never want to fight into that if you're sane. Dark, though, is insane in the membrane, I believe. And he's actually in vision, so he can pop a Nidus. Immediately, Byun respects that, sends 2 Vikings and a drop, expecting the Nidus Worm. And Dark's like, oh, back off. Dark's trying to secure this base and this base. So Dark has realized if I mine out the 2 middle bases, then I can play a bit more of a patient long game. He's also gone double Spire and Pathogen, so he realizes that Infestor Broodlord will be the way to deal with this in the late game. Now, we had a question earlier. Wouldn't Ghosts just wreck Broodlord Infestor? They can, and Broodlord Infestor can wreck them. It can go both ways. It all comes down to the control. I'd say when the Zerg is absolutely tip-top, I feel the Zerg's ever so slightly favored there. But only if the Zerg is one of like the top 3 or 4 Zergs in the world. Okay, gets a few Lurkers, loses a few Ghosts for it though. Spores are coming up, Lurkers. He's going to keep sieging this gold base. Very hard to secure that. Tanks will inch forward though. This Ultralisk is like, let me at him, bro! I'll help you! I'll help you, Dark! Let me at him! Let me free! Let me free! Bro! Fucking Roid Rage Ultralisk right there. Crazy attack from Dark! Holy shit, he's like, nah, you can't kill all of my Lurkers. He gets 14 SCVs, kills a few Ghosts, but he loses a lot of Lurkers as well. That's the sort of crazy move that Dark does like to do. Planetary there as a little backup. Extra orbitals on the way. Oh! Ling Bane's going to go for a bit of a wraparound. Got to be careful. Careful, mate. He's going to go double air upgrade. But Ling Bane's still looking for these engagements. Dark's a savage, bro. Oh, Ghosts mostly escape. A lot of bio goes down, but still feels like these trades are pretty shite for Dark, who's down 9,000 resources. Now, remember what I said, you got to transfer workers to these middle bases. Dark has not prioritized that. Fantastic tactical player, but against someone who's literally jerking it in that corner of the map the way Byun has this entire game, you got to take advantage of them, guys. And if someone just refuses to leave their room, you can sit there banging on their door all day long, or you can just say, well, you won't get dinner then. And one of these, anyone who's a parent knows one of these is a winning argument and one of them is a losing argument. Banging on the door saying, let me in, this is my house, you little shit. While they're like, no, fuck off, Dad. One of those works and one doesn't. Well, you're not getting dinner, you little shit. That's essentially what Dark's strategy needs to be, because he's going to be losing the units lost, but if he can eat all of the dinner up here, all of the dinner down here, Byun's going to be a hungry fuck. He's going to be out there like, where's the minerals? I need money. And then Dark can catch him when he's like coming out in the middle of the night to open the fridge and see if there's any leftovers. So as Dark here, time to show a bit of tough love, and just every worker should be on this base. He should be mining the gases and the minerals fully. 16 on each, mate. Why are you mining here? Dark is a tactical genius, but honestly, the more we've been seeing more of this sort of game in multiple matchups in the last year, and it pisses me off to no end that like so few players transfer workers to it. Oh, this is a good attack. There's not enough support, guys. Tank can't deal with the front row of Zerglings. Actually took so much tank fire. He's gonna, oh no, he didn't have an Overseer. He didn't have an Overseer. Good fungal to get some of the Ghosts, but he already lost like 8 Lurkers, bro. Ooh, I was like, this is a good attack. I think I've already changed my mind, guys. I think Byun showing that patient style, guys, you know? Fucking Mr. Hyde is coming out again. Dr. Jekyll was not able to get it done at the start of this game, but as soon as he realized the 2-Rex didn't work, he swapped. He said, no worries, let's play Macro. Mr. Hyde, he puts on his fucking nice suit and his top hat, gets his monocle out and shit, has one of those olden day little scepter things, and he says, we're gonna slowly, methodically chip away and expand, and we're gonna just spread tanks and turrets and ghosts. This is such methodical play. It's so different to what Byun used to ever do. That Lurker being a bit of a dickhead. A bit of a dickhead. Does get sniped. And you know what? Guys, this is why I'm saying you gotta mine these bases out, because you can't hang on to them forever. They're so far out, they're really easy to lose. Nice of Dark, nice of Dark. He's got that bottom base mining untouched right now. I don't think Byun even knows about it, but he's losing Lurkers. These trades, the Ghosts punishing Dark for being present on the map. Dark needs to be forward on the map. Ooh-wee! Fungaloo! 1, 2, 3, 4 Ghosts go down. But he still is not full on that base, and he's not taking the gas. Gas probably not the most important thing for Byun in this game, but it could end up being a limiting factor. There are late games where the Terran runs out of gas and has plenty of minerals left over. Ooh, Ling Lurker coming forward, Infested Viper as well. We'll see what he can do. Okay, Lurker's just spraying down those spines from afar. How many Lurkers have died in this game? So far, it is 44 to 16 ghosts and 23 siege tanks. Infestor gets popped. Lurker gets popped. Zerglings try to run in. Ghosts say, nah, mate. They blast him down, dude. This is not looking good for Dark. Dark's units lost tab 14,000 resources behind. He is in trubs. This tank's still there on the low ground. Doesn't have high ground vision. And Byun finds this base. That's why I said every minute you control these middle bases needs to be utilized to the max. And I honestly, I don't know if that'll be the deciding factor. Keep in mind, look at that. 20 Zerglings run in and they just killed 5 siege tanks. This is what I'm talking about. Byun can't be everywhere at once. And tanks, very vulnerable to Lings. If it's just tanks and ghosts, Ling Bane can kind of just wrap around them and overwhelm them sometimes, especially if you find the weak points. But Byun denies the bottom base with Tank Marine, rotates to the top side. He's going to deny both of these bases, and that means if he can keep doing that, he will eventually be able to mine those out. Unfortunately, once again, Ling Bane finds a tank. And these are kind of slightly better trades for Dark. Are they good enough trades, though? Byun's bank is shite. Keep it in mind. Keep it in mind. Top base survives. Still 93 drones, but that base is out. This base getting low on some of the patches. This base getting low on some of the patches. If you can retake the bottom base, that would be huge. Oh my god, the ghost just pushed in and popped 5 lurkers. 1 lurker gets out on red hit points. And you know what? Byun doesn't want to get those ghosts around it, so he's just going to leave a few. Those guys, he's meant to be killing the hatchery right now. He's just going to click on that hatch. That will go down. And Dark, I mean, the unit's lost tab is a problem. He's going to go Broodlord Infestor now and say, okay, we'll make the efficient comp. And I have seen Byun lose many an army to Broodlord Infestor. He probably wants to get up to about 8 Vikings here. Problem for him, he's only on +1 armor. No ship weapons upgrades. So these Vikings are going to be up against 2-3 air in a few minutes. And the Vikings are going to suck against those Corruptors. Definitely an issue. If you can clear this middle Spore and Creep control, that would be very nice for Byun. Byun on 16 siege tanks. And you just get if the Broodlords are shooting, the tanks become very weak. Unless they can target fire infestors, tanks are going to be real weak. He's going to scan. Does he see he sees Corruptors? He knows. He should know now that Broodlords are going to be next. Mixing some Thors in can be useful. Definitely you want to get the Viking count up. Nukes are amazing. We've seen that nukes is like the hard counter to solar. I don't imagine Dark will ever get hit by a nuke. He's just too good. He's too fast. He's too calm in the chaos. But you never know. Marauders just being nice and annoying here. Doesn't lose any. Nice risk-free harassment there. Broodlord's morphing. He is getting +2 vehicle armor and +3 vehicle weapons. So he's getting armor for the Vikings. And he wants to max out his tank damage before he goes to the Viking attack. So yeah, Vikings are going to, of course, do 2 times 14. Cancels the nuke. Ooh, Lings on the top side. Oh, tank's not good versus Lings, guys. Tank's not good versus Lings. Yeah, he's going to lose that tank as well. Oh, Command Center will survive. Ghosts do get up there. You got to be careful, though. These Ling run-ins are so efficient. First time any efficiencies happened, really, for Dark at this terrible, terrible efficiency of a game. Broodlords are making... He's making 3 Thors right now, so he actually wants to use Thors as an intermediary. He gets a Broodlord. 2 Broodlords go down. 3, in fact. He got 3 Broodlords there. So that's it. If you can snipe him from the edge, catch him by surprise, it can go well. But the moment a fungal lands on those ghosts, they're toast. Because the infestors can go in one at a time, chain those fungals. So there's going to be a very important dance. Can you land snipes on the Broodlords? And can they do that? Did he just EMP all those changelings? Maybe they just all expired at the same time. Snipes the middle top base again. Dark at this point, and this is so funny, the thing with Dark. Dark didn't mine this base a lot earlier, but now he's like, well, it's the last base left, so yeah, let's do it. Oh! Fungal, he only gets 1 ghost. Look at the way he's dancing on the edge. EMP, though, does zone out the infestors. And you can see the Broodlords, they can all stack on top of each other, remember? So they can all shoot at the same time. But not many Broodlords right now. 5 is not enough. You want to get probably 10. Because if you get a wave of Broodlords or Broodlings on the ghosts, they're all nipping at them. And the way snipe works is they need to channel it for 1.5 seconds. See, it got interrupted there. Only 1 snipe got off. 1 more snipe gets off. He's got to keep chaining these fungals, but the EMPs are zoning him a little bit. He's going to drop a forward nuke. trying to push that back. Ling Hydra on the top does get pushed back by the tanks. Command Center is trying to float up there. Remember what I talked about? Byun, he's trying to take both sides at once. That's what lost him. That's what made things so hard for him on Romance's side. And he's going to do it again. He's already struggling to hold this area. There's no way he can hold up here. Very bad decision by Byun. He should focus on denying the bottom base and then taking it for himself. He's going to try and move forward. Ducks on the Thors. Ooh, Ducks on the tanks as well. The Hydra Ling doing well. Parasitic Bomb. Fungal. Medevac's going to get blasted. Ghosts from the south, though. Can he get the value with the Ghosts? He's going to snipe the Overseers. He's got to be careful. Ghost or 2 does go down. This looks like good fights for Dark right now. The Command Center just floating up there. Dude. Oh, Byun being wildly dangerous with these Ghosts. And he's trying to go for the Thors. And I really feel Thors are a very hit or miss approach to countering the Broodlords. If they're able to stand and fight, they kill them. But if you get them neuraled or blinding clouded, they either work for the opponent if they're neuraled. If they get blinding clouded, Thor's like, there's green smoke on me. You ever see a Thor try to walk out of a blinding cloud, guys? It's fucking painful to watch. They're like, They take forever. They just do not leave the blinding cloud. They might as well run out of it. So Thors, if they stand and fight, they fuck Broodlords up. The question is, will Dark let that happen? Because if he turns those Thors against you, they're a huge liability. If he gets blinding clouded, they're a bit wasteful, which is why I like a handful of Thors, but he's actually playing mass Thor. He's going to go up to 7 Thors with 3/3. Thor Ghost, fascinating. I can't wait to see how this works out. Thor, I mean, he's going to rely on EMPs really hard. EMPs and snipes are going to be integral. And the Thors are very tanky. So don't get me wrong. They're a good general purpose unit. They're very tanky. Oh, good cloak. If a fungal caught him there. Ooh. Okay, so Dark's still got the top base, but look at this. Byun's got the bottom base, and that's the correct call. That's the correct call. As long as you secure this base, I think you're okay as Byun. You've been way more efficient. Yeah, he's mined a bit of this base. It's kind of the worst. You kind of actually do wish you took the top base, because it has more minerals and stuff on it. There's more gas down here. That's nice. You do need gas right now as Byun. That's actually the limiting factor, because he's swapping into a mostly mech composition. Oh! Bit of a messy push. He gets rolled by Mass Zergling because his ghosts aren't there, guys. His ghosts are actually his anti-Zergling. Oh my god. He just got rolled by Ling Hydra. The ghosts come down and fuck up the Hydra Bane. They'll fuck up the Lings as well. And you see what happens. The ghosts do 26 damage a shot. So they 2-shot Zerglings. They almost 3-shot the Hydralisks. They 2-shot Banelings as well. 3-shot Banelings. How much? 35 hit points on a Baneling? 30, 35 once Bane speed kicks in. Right? I think, I fucking don't even know. I think they 3-shot Banes. Anyways, Neural Parasite is on the way, so he wants to steal these Thors. He's got 15 Infestors. Dark's gonna go for the big play, guys. He's gonna go for the LOL. They're fighting for me now. But if Byun EMPs all the Infestors, remember, Dark doesn't spread his Infestors. He keeps them in a big ball. I've often talked about how when Dark's skirmishing or solar, a lot of, like, almost no player spreads their Infestors out. And I don't mean you're going to spread them all out, but remember what Protoss players do, where they leave, like, an Infestor here, an Infestor there, an Infestor, like, or a High Templar for Storm. You kind of need to do the same thing with the Infestors, because if he gets in here with a Cloaked Ghost and EMPs them all at some point, you're screwed. Great Spore coverage, though, so there's no way that's going to happen by surprise. EMPs 2 of the Infestors. Oh my god. It's great range and great radius on the EMPs. Byun's really good at just not letting them... Fungal! Ah, fucking caster cursed it, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4 ghosts go down. The bunch of them very, very low. The medevacs can heal. Ship weapons upgrades are on the way, so he does want to consider adding a few more Vikings in to help. And obviously does need to catch up on those upgrades. So right now, we've got a few thousand resources there. This base got denied, and there's actually worth long distance mining this one for sure. Worth Byun floating a command center there as well. But there's no resources left anywhere else. So it's just that top base versus that bottom base, whereas Byun still has this base and the top left. He has way more minerals coming in for the next few minutes. You can see his bank's overtaking. And Dark, this is a struggle of how do I find a cost-efficient situation? Because I need to be Very cost efficient. Yeah, I'm up in army supply. No, I'm down 6 army supply even. 11 Broodlords, so he's going 12 Broodlords, 15 Infestors, 2 Corruptors, 93 Zerglings. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the Ling run-bys have been really nice, but Dark can't really afford to do them anymore because Byun can trade. Dark needs that one big I fuck you up fight. Broodlords have pretty good range. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Dark clump up his Broodlords and move into Ghost range a little bit more while bringing Infestors in and try to flank a bit with the Infestors. Don't just run them in with a blob. We try to get a volley or two off on those Ghosts. One of the problems he's having is every time he brings an Overseer forward, Byun instantly snipes it. He's just like, double snipe, you can't see me. And that makes things really awkward. And like I said, I feel like if the Terran is, if the Zerg's exceptional with their control, they have a slight edge. In this case, it feels like Byun's been a little better. Dark is not as good as Solar at this army comp. He really is not. Let's see what he can do though. He plays it very different. He's got the Master Lings. Dark's looking to lure you into the open and then surround you maybe. If you make a mistake, like I feel like Solar is just slowly methodically building an advantage. Dark is looking for a mistake. Byun has not made it yet. Good fungal. Can he chain it? Ooh! Ooh! Okay. A couple of ghosts, 3 ghosts go down. Oh, but the snipes on the retreat are always so dangerous. The way Byun is both pulling back when he needs to, but as soon as he can, he turns and fights, EMPs the Infestors, and snipes the Broods. At this point, as Dark, you're wishing you had a speedy medevac to load Infestors into, and you could boost in from the flank, and then do fungal drop, kind of like a storm drop on the ghosts, and then jump on him. Yeah. And he's gonna, I mean, Byun, just don't get over eager, bro. Fungal. Uh-oh. Run! Oh, Dark's got at least a few of these, mate. He's gonna lose a lot of energy, but he kills 6 ghosts, 7 ghosts. No Overseer! No Overseer with the Broodlords! It's the same mistake that Solar made in that game. Oh, he didn't, because he's got fuck all Overseers right now. So if he doesn't fungal the ghosts, he can't see them when they're out of spore range. Dude, great fungal to start that fight. But you've got to be careful because those Broodlords, it was a small enough ghost count. As long as he was attacking the ghosts with the Broods, I think they would have stopped most of those snipes. But instead, he couldn't see it and the snipes got off. And we see how quickly those Broodlords fall. 8 Broodlords have gone down in this game. 8 Infestors, 35 ghosts. A lot of ghosts have gone down. Units lost tab still looking fantastic overall for Byun as this last base mining out. That base, not really that many SCVs there right now. Of course, Byun still has mineral patches and many other bases. His bank way bigger. He's going to keep using these zoning nukes. The drones are coming to fight! Oh! The drones are coming to fight! Dark is beyond desperate. Oh, great parasitic bomb on the Vikings, but you know when you're pulling the boys into a late game Terran, you're like, I've seen Crabby boys assemble. I've seen Terran players do this. I hear it works well. Yeah, it's not quite the same as getting your drilly boys up front in a mid-game army push, mate. Fucking, oh, Jesus. Now, obviously, like, you know, he doesn't have anything to do with those drones. It's just painful to watch, man. It's like, let the non-combatants fucking surrender or something, dude. Dark's like, nah, everyone fights for the fucking swarm and for the cause. Is he sniping drones? He's sniping drones! Byun with the BM drone snipe! He just fucking sniped drones! Byun is telling Dark to get the fuck out of the game. That was so much worse than a Manamule. Oh, watch that! Watch that again! I'm telling you, he sniped drones just there, guys. You know when you're telling your ghost to snipe drones and Zerglings, the game's gone well for you. Look at this, look at this. He's like... He got 2 snipes off on the drones before the Zerglings got on him. Oh, you show off, Byun. You show off. Oh, man. I'm telling you guys, isn't this cool, this new Byun? This new Byun is really getting me excited. He's getting me a little bit randy for some late game efficient Terran style. And it's so good to see someone just slap down Dark's very kind of mid-game movement focused style Blackburn, one of the best maps to do that on as well. The end of that game, we see just masses of units killed. Absolute insanity and a fantastic series. GG, well played. Byun wins that one, goes to the finals of another Korean Weekly.